Welcome to part 6 of my full commentary on Westwood's Blade Runner game from 1997. I'm going to go backwards just real quick because I want to show something that I mentioned before but didn't bother making happen, I guess. So we're going to go back to Choose iWorks, and hopefully there will be an interaction there with the character Gordo. Alright, so the game really hated me, but I was finally able to get
pal.
Gordo to show up.
What's shaking, baby? Haven't I seen you around these parts before?
Could be. I get around.
You ever get down to Nightclub Row, you ought to check out my act. I'm just warming up the room, but it's better than a kick in the pants, you dig?
What kind of stuff do you do?
What kind of... You kidding, baby? I do it all! I am the direct extension of Frankie, Sammy D, and Dino Martini.
Who?
Man, you really must be dozing in Squaresville if you're asking who the voice is. You know, old Blue Eyes. The chairman of the board? Sinatra, man.
The guy's been dead for 20 years.
Well, you're gonna remember the name Gordo Frizz just like old Blue Eyes. I ain't on the Marquis of Early's just yet, but it's coming, I promise you.
Alright.
You know anything about that bomb that just rocked the street?
Bombing? I've never bombed in my life. My act is always happening, always now.
Cut the shit. A man was killed back there.
Gee, that's a drag. There's 8 million stories in the Naked City, you know?
And you know nothing about it.
Sally Charlie.
You seen any suspicious-looking people around here?
Hell no. I mean, a lot of wackos cool their heels down here. But they're anything but suspicious.
Hey,
You killed anyone yet?
Alright, I think that's all we can get from Gordo anyway. Like, he just does not. This is like the worst spot. We might be able to get Gordo. He might show up right here. Yeah.
you still hanging around?
We're gonna have to wait for him.
I've
Nope.
seen you before.
Yeah, so Gordo has nothing more to say to us at this point. And like, it is just completely random if Gordo or Gaff shows up here. Obviously Gaff didn't even say anything, so it didn't even matter. But Gordo, I especially wanted to show that interaction between Gordo and McCoy because it's one of my favorite interactions when he's talking about Sinatra, and there's a bunch of Sinatra references in there too. But the reason I like it is because McCoy says about Sinatra, the guy's been dead for 20 years. Now, this game was made in 1997, so Sinatra didn't die till 1998, I think. So he wasn't dead yet, but this game takes place in 2019, and so when this game does take place, Sinatra had been dead for 20 years. So Westwood knew. Alright, I just wanted to point that out. Also, in the last episode, I said this scene comes after that scene where we broke out the things, and I just watched this part of the movie to confirm it, and it is true. Now, there is no ladder in the scene in the movie, but in the room that has the sinks that are filled with water and the bathtub, that comes after the scene that McCoy gets to up here. So the game did get it backwards. Alright, so we're going to go finish out this act, and the ending of this act, the beginning of the next act, actually has 3 possible different videos. And so whichever cutscene we get has some clues as to who may or may not be a replicant. And I'll point it out after we watch it.
That'll do, Sadiq. Enough!
Oh, you think he found us, man?
One of the design subcons must have talked. Unstable personalities, to say the least.
Told you we should have blown up the old block.
It would have created problems down the line.
We got problem now, man.
This one? He's not a problem. He's an opportunity. You're weak, my friend. I expected so much more from you.
I'm thinking our brother not hearing too good.
Oh, he hears us. Isn't that right, McCoy?
You ready to give up fruitless nightmare, man? Come back to family?
He doesn't have a choice. He never did.
Let me kill him, man.
No.
We got no time to be patient. The gal, she's sick. She not gonna get no better.
That's where you're wrong, Sadiq. She will live.
Maybe. But this one, he got it coming bad.
Believe me, he's the least of our problems.
You're talking crazy. The hunter be dangerous.
A fool sees not the same tree a wise man sees.
I'm no fool, man.
You must have a little faith, my friend. Without contraries, there's no progression.
How can you trust any of their kind?
We have been manipulated by them, correct? Now they're going to see exactly what lies on the other side of the horizon.
This is like the weirdest part. This is supposed to be like the unicorn sequence, except for the video game. Like the weird dream that the protagonist has.
Catch me if you can!
And like Lucy's animation here is just looks so bizarre.
How long have I been here, Lucy?
How do you know my name?
I saw your things at Runciter's. Did you feel bad when they killed those animals?
They were so pretty and sweet. I hoped Father wouldn't do it. But Mr. Runciter deserved retribution. That's what Father said.
Why?
'Cause he treated me bad. Like I belonged to him.
I'm sorry.
Are you really the hunter? Like Father says?
It's my job.
Why? What do you have against us?
Nothing. It's just the law.
Would you hurt me?
I promise you I won't.
Father will be back soon.
Okay, so I mentioned that there were 3 possible cutscenes there. And in the one we saw, Sadiq says, the gal, she be getting sick, or she's sick, or whatever. And that is an indication that Lucy is a replicant. And so right now McCoy's tied up, and all we can interact with here is this heater vent back here. Now, in the 3 possible videos, there's a video where Sadiq will say, your woman, she be getting sick. If you get that one, you know that Dectora is a replicant. And then there's another version of the video where Sadiq mentions how you're getting sick. And in that case, neither Lucy nor Dectora is a replicant. And Clovis will go ahead and start spouting a bunch of poetry that we don't hear in the other versions of the film. Alright, so in this place that we've been tied up at, we can find this cheese down here.
It felt and smelled like real cheese. Dairy products were choice contraband, scarce and mucho expensive. Selling them was a Class A felony.
And then that's all that's in this particular screen, but we can go back to this part of the screen. And if we click on this pillow,
Hysteria Hall was an arcade down near Nightclub Row.
we'll find a token that unlocks the arcade, and we can click on this doll as well. Now the doll has a bad hitbox. If we just click in the center of the doll,
Nothing else there.
it counts as clicking on this pillow, but I think if we click here on its head, we can get the doll. And then there's also a photograph over
Strange.
here. And we can see in our evidence what that photograph was, except I'm not sure which case we're on right now, to be honest. So we'll look at it at the police station where we can zoom in on it. Alright, so if we go out here, we get a cameo appearance.
Put the hotel manager down nice and slow.
And you can draw your gun there and tell him to
Who
put
the
the
hell are
hotel
you?
manager down, or
McCoy,
you can just
LPD.
let the scene carry
LPD,
out.
huh? Maybe you guys can return something to me.
How do you know we got it?
One of your own. Invaded my property. Bad haircut. Stupid coat. The other guy.
Deckard.
What other guy?
Don't play dumb.
What about him?
Nothing. I just thought you were gonna arrest me, that's all.
I don't care about your little run-in with the manager, okay? I'm looking for a couple of replicants.
Can't help you there, friend.
Maybe the clerk can tell me who was renting that room back there. Why were you hassling him?
You let these creeps in my room. I'm a very private person.
What do they got against you?
Nothing, friend. I ain't done nothing.
We're all innocents, aren't we?
Damn straight. And I don't like people asking questions either.
Just help me out here a little more. You seen a big Rasta guy around here? Or a guy with a beard and dark eyes?
A Rasta? What's that?
He's got dreadlocks. Talks with an accent.
Oh. No, I ain't seen no one like that. Look, my mother's waiting for me. You stick around. Maybe the manager will come back.
I like how he says my mother's waiting for me. That's sort of a nod to the movie. Alright, and if we follow Leon here, you'll see him walking around the corner. Right back over here. And I always like to think that that happens right before he attacks Deckard and Rachel retires him. So we'll notice this car out here, and we can click on it to find some more evidence.
The car looked a lot like the one I'd been tracking. The driver had been smart enough to pull the license plate, but the vehicle identification number was still there. If I ran it through the mainframe back at the station, I could ID the owner.
Now, if you never found the license plate either through the Esper machine or in the garbage can, McCoy will just give his plain old lines about totally uninteresting or whatever about this car. There's also a wrapper in here.
The wrapper was from a vendor I knew. Best lichen dogs in the 4th sector. That wasn't saying a whole lot, but with an arcade next door and a dozen nightclubs down the street, Mia and Murray's stand saw more action in a night than my spinster aunt saw all last century.
Alright, and we can go back into the hotel here. And there is a room back here that we get to follow up with from the movie.
I didn't know who was working this side of the pool, but whoever it was, they'd been pretty thorough going through the joint. I doubted if there was anything I could find that hadn't already been snagged and bagged.
Alright. Well, he's totally wrong about that, because if we look in this drawer, we will find, and it'll be under all the clues, and that was Holden's badge.
Holden's badge.
And so the detectives that investigated this crime scene before, which would have been Gaff and Deckard, were pretty sloppy. And we can also grab a scale out of the bathtub. And I believe it's just going to be called Strange Scale. Yeah, Strange Scale in our Kaya database. And then we can just leave here. And we can ring the bell to try to make the hotel manager come back, but it won't do anything. So instead, we will just have to leave. And we might be wondering, where the heck is McCoy now? Well, if we just walk over here, we'll find that we're right back at Chu's Eyeworks. And our spinner's right over here. But let's go check in on Chu. See how he's doing.
Locked.
It's locked. So, as we know, he is a dead man. Or he's not dead yet. And Roy and... Wait, no, because Leon went to get executed. So Roy and Leon have already been there, and Chu is a dead man. But we can collect our spinner, and we can visit the Bradbury building. And the reason why I'm visiting the Bradbury building in this manner is so that we can see this animation of the car driving down the street, because it's just like in the movie, and so it looks really awesome. So we will go ahead and go into the Bradbury building, where we will get another cameo appearance. And I would take the elevator up there to see the cool scene, but we can just walk here and admire the cool screen again. Okay, but if we go back here, we'll get a cameo appearance from Sebastian.
Yes?
I'm looking for J.F. Sebastian.
That's me.
McCoy, LPD. You had a break-in?
I don't think I called anyone.
I was already here. I was chasing one of the perpetrators.
Well, everything's all right now. I'm pretty sure I can handle it.
You may think you can, but believe me, you can't. Better if I check it out.
Well, if you insist.
I always like McCoy's line of, you may think you can
I don't
handle
think they
it.
took anything. I don't really have anything here of any value.
You work for Tyrell Corporation?
Yes, sir. I'm one of the principal design engineers for Dr. Terrell. He's a very nice man. You know, he even fronted me the money to buy this building. It's a landmark, you know. You really should see the front edifice. They put some amazing detail into it.
You feeling all right?
Oh, sure. I'm fine.
You wouldn't be hiding anybody, would you?
No, sir. There's nobody here but me and my friends.
What friends?
Good evening, Jeff.
Evening,
This
General.
is straight out of the movie. All right.
See? I make friends.
He almost looks real.
He's plenty real enough for me. And real good company, too.
Look, I gotta check the premises again. Maybe they left something behind.
Well, if you want to take a look, go on ahead. I can't stop you. But please be careful in my lab.
You got it.
All right, so a few things there. McCoy asked him if he wouldn't be hiding anyone, would he? I like to think that Pris is already there, and he is hiding her. And also, what was the other thing McCoy said? I don't remember. But, so, we can talk to Sebastian here about a lot of different things, like Miraji and Chu.
You know the design subcons down on the row, Miraji and Chu?
I've heard of them, but I've never seen them. I don't go in for the parties and stuff, and I never go down to the row.
And one of the things here is, once you talk to Sebastian about replicants, Sebastian will accuse McCoy of being a Blade Runner, and he won't talk to you anymore after that. So you got to kind of pick through the things and figure out which ones you can talk about.
You ever work with a Dr. Eisenduller?
We're in different fields. I'm in basic biogenetic design, and he works on the practical application of off-world physics. He seems to be a very nice man.
Who happens to be dead.
Dead?
He was murdered, probably by a replicant.
But replicants aren't allowed on Terra.
But they're here, nonetheless. And who do you think they'll start looking for next?
Alright, so I'm just going to save here just so we can go through all of the dialogue. I think we can talk about Runciter without him getting
What do you
mad
think
at
the
us.
deal was with Runciter and the twins?
Deal?
Actually,
I don't think
we
I
can.
understand.
Runciter was paying the twins for something. I saw the cash hidden inside a statue.
How would I know?
Come on, Sebastian. I heard you on the machine. You guys are buddies, right?
There were rumors that the twins were selling some of the animal prototypes to him.
You think that had something to do with their being fired?
Dr. Terrell doesn't like anyone going around behind his back.
So, Tyrell would really be pissed if he knew Luther and Lance were helping renegade replicants.
You're a Blade Runner, aren't you?
Bingo.
But you said you were here about the burglary.
The guys who broke in might be replicants.
What in the world would a replicant want from me?
You worked on the Nexus 6 series, didn't you?
Just a little bit.
Would you say that the 6s are smarter than the old 4s and 5s?
They're supposed to be. Stronger and more agile, too.
So maybe they want to learn more about themselves. Maybe they want to pick your brain about their brains.
I think you should leave now, Mr. McCoy.
Yeah, so once Sebastian accuses you of being a Blade Runner, like, he won't say anything more to him like
Got
this.
the straight scoop for me, or what?
I think you should leave now, Mr. McCoy.
But if we want to hear everything that Sebastian has to say, we will go ahead and load our save game, and we'll ask him about Tyrell.
How well do you know Dr. Tyrell?
Oh, I'm not sure anyone really knows him. But I can tell you this, he's a great man, and a brilliant genetic designer. Dr. Terrell and I play chess every week. I've only beaten him once.
Alright, so that one doesn't end it. But I think twins, Runciter, we asked about, robbers.
You sure you don't have much valuable stuff around here?
Anything worthwhile I probably would have sold a long time ago. All this is personal stuff, wouldn't mean a whole lot to anyone but me.
Maybe they were looking for you.
Oh no, I'm nobody.
Okay, so that one doesn't end the dialogue either. But I think any of these other ones will. Nexus 6 will end it right away.
How different are the 6s from the other Nexus models?
You're a Blade Runner, aren't you?
Bingo.
And that's it.
The
That
guy-
ends
you-
that. So we'll just
maybe-
skip this dialogue. And then I think, whoops, yeah. The last one we did was twins.
Talk to me about the twins.
You mean Luther and Lance? They were Dr. Terrell's favorites until he let them go. Nobody really knows why, either.
You think they hold a grudge against Tyrell?
Maybe. But they're decent fellows, Mr. McCoy. I don't think they'd ever do a mean thing to anybody. They're real smart, too. Almost as smart as Dr. Terrell.
Maybe they're too smart to keep around. Too much competition for the old man.
Oh, they could never take Dr. Terrell's place.
How about this? Do you think they're the type who might help out renegade replicants?
You...
And once again, Sebastian accuses him of being a Blade Runner and won't talk to him anymore. But I think the most interesting is the Runsetter one, so I will just do that for this save game. And we can look around Sebastian's apartment or building more, but there's nothing else to find in there, I don't think. I mean, if you know of anything that shows up after the initial reaction, let me know in the comments so that I can point it out in a future episode. Alright, so we'll leave there and we're going to continue our investigation. And I'm just going to go to the police station first and we're going to take a look at the mainframe and we're going to take a look at that photograph. And then we'll get into investigating the rest of the things that are going on in this act. In this act, basically you are hunting 3 possible replicants. It's sort of the meat of the Blade Runnering in this game. And based off the clues we already have, I've got some predictions as to who the replicants are. I think we already know that Gordo... Whoops, I went to the wrong building. I think we already know... Actually, I can do the photograph there.
Your floor number, please.
We know that Gordo is a replicant because there was the pamphlet at the Eisenduller crime scene. And I think Dectora is a replicant because we got the photograph of her with McCoy when McCoy was had the picture taken of him by Izzo. And then Lucy, I'm not sure on at the moment, I don't think.
Moon bus.
Alright, so in our moon bus photo, we can get another photograph of Clovis. We already got 100 of these, but we'll get another one for good measure.
That guy sure gets around. Give me a hard copy of that.
And back here, we can get another photograph of Sadiq. I think this is our 3rd photograph of Sadiq.
Give me a hard copy of that.
And then we can also see who this mysterious figure is back here. What?
That can't be me. Give me a hard copy of that.
And it is ourself? So McCoy must be a replicant. And that's all that there is in this photo. I'm kidding. There's actually one more weird thing right over here in this photograph. And it is the weirdest thing.
That's damn strange.
It absolutely makes no sense what this is. It is some kind of reflection. Okay, so what I believe it is, and it may not be, but I think right here in this part of the photograph is the garbage can that was in front of McCoy, but there's no McCoy standing behind it. And so I think it's meant to imply that McCoy was photoshopped into this photo and that he is actually not at the Moonbus crime scene. I think that's what that reflection is supposed to be. Alright, and that's all that's in that photograph. But like I said, if I did miss anything in that photograph or any of these photographs, be sure to post a comment to let me know. And let's give our dog a treat.
Baby. Dinner time.
Just for good measure, because McCoy loves his freaking dog so much. I'm going to go into the bedroom real quick just to see if anything's on the TV.
Violent street crime in the city rose again last year by a whopping 26%.
Nope, that is a news report we've seen before. Alright, so we're going to go back to the police station.
Your floor number.
And we're going to visit the mainframe. And we're going to turn in all our evidence. And we're also going to learn some important information here. And maybe there'll be something. Nope, no news report here. Alright, so in the mainframe, let us look at our evidence and look at our suspect list. And now that McCoy is a suspect, maybe we don't want them to know about it, so we'll right click on it. Now, like I said before, I don't think this actually has any effect on the game, but we probably don't want them to know about McCoy. So, but we can get some more evidence from the mainframe now that we found out about that vehicle.
Uploading personal clue database.
The mainframe confirmed what I'd already guessed. The car from Chinatown was the same vehicle that had smacked the hydrant at Runciter's. The car was registered to a man named Gavin Kelly, but he'd reported it stolen 2 months ago. His file came up clean. Model citizen, a doctor, no criminal record. I was back to square one.
So I actually can't remember what that means. Now, you'll either get the car registered to this guy, Gavin Kelly, or you'll get it registered to a woman named Dectora. Now, I think that if the car is registered to Gavin Kelly, it just means Dectora is a human and not involved with the replicants. But it might be the opposite. It might be if you get the car registered to Dectora, it means she's human and that's why she owned a car, but I'm not actually sure. So we'll see. I still have a suspicion that Dectora is a replicant, but I can't remember how the evidence goes for that particular one. Now we're going to go to the first floor of the police station because Guza may be there, and Guza will have some interesting stuff to say about Holden's badge. And Guza's not there. So we'll just go to the lockup real quick, because in the last episode, Izzo, or not in the last episode, but in the last act, Izzo got arrested, but I never bothered to go
Ground floor.
interview him. So let's just interview him now to see what he has to say for himself.
You look right at home in there, Izzo.
I've been in much tighter spots than this, McCoy.
I'll bet, but this is only the beginning. You ready to supply me some answers?
I wish I had something to say.
I know your hands are dirty, Izzo.
Everybody in this world is trying to better himself, no matter what the terms are. If that counts as dirty, so be it.
The terms of your conviction won't be too clean.
I'll be through with this place long before you, McCoy.
Yeah, I'm sure you've been saving up for a rainy day, selling all those illegal weapons.
One never knows when fate will conspire. You must be prepared.
You're a real trooper, Izzo.
I think that's all he has to say, but let's see.
You look right at home in there, Izzo.
Yeah, he has nothing to say. And, of course, Gregorian will have the usual to say.
You keeping busy, pal?
Please leave me alone. My migraine's acting up. You can make him say that a million times. I've heard him say that a million times. Alright. Let's go try floor 1 again. And actually, I'm just going to run outside real quick, just because maybe it'll help Guza to show up if I run outside. It's just one of those random things. So hopefully Guza's there, and if not, I'm going to skip ahead. I'm just going to break the recording and skip ahead to a part where he is there. Yeah, he's not there, so I'm going to skip it ahead, and the next time I'm back, you'll see Guza. Okay, so you'll see I've made Guza appear. All I did was run outside and run back in, and Guza was there. So we can ask Guza about Holden's badge, and we'll get some interesting comments on the film.
I found Holden's badge.
Damn. Let me guess, you found it in that hotel down in Chinatown.
Yeah, someone from the department had already been through the room. I guess they just missed it.
That's the old-timers case. The one we brought back on contract. Brian's got faith in this guy, but I gotta wonder about any son of a bitch who can miss a badge in a room that small. This Deckard, he feels too much, you know? He's too far along the curve.
Did he retire the rep who shot Holden?
Brian said he did, yeah. I guess he's getting the job done. Holden will be glad to get this back, kid. You done good.
Alright, so we get an interesting reference to the movie there. And if we talk to him again, we'll just get the usual line about get back out there.
Sorry to bother you, Lieutenant. I was just checking in.
We'll get back out there.
Alright, let's just skip that. It's pretty funny. I like the suicidal rep line, but that is enough of that. Alright, I think we're going to call this episode good for today because it's run for a while, but in the next episode we'll get into the meat of investigating all the replicants. In Act 3, this has been Jack Everett, and thanks for watching.